Good morning, my name is Kirsty Dignam and I'm here to look at the weekly energies for today on the 11th of September. There's some really interesting sensations around at the moment, and I was really tempted this morning to research before this video, which is out of character for me this week, to sense into where we're at with the information that we're receiving and to then seek out confirmation if that's what we're actually looking for. We have the Hermit in the Tarot, we have the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Ten of Pentacles, to really look at how grounded we are in our own vision, not only for the world but ourselves also. I've had quite a few surprises this week. You are being seen in regards to what you actually feel, and to ensure that they're in alignment, and the whole point of having each other in our lives is to have that reflection that we might not be able to see. So I've been really, really grateful for that this week. Really, really grateful for compliments, really grateful for recognising where I can't always accept them and why, and how I doubt their authenticity, but also that I doubt it because it's not how I feel about myself, right? So beautiful medicine there to really look at that. From a place that is less illuminated, it is going to affect our focus. So really looking at how we can adjust the light within us and the impact that has on what we see this week. And whether or not we end up going back to old ways of perceiving things. And this week, if we can let go of those expectations on ourselves as well, and how we perceive ourselves and what we believe we are here to do and how we are here to do it, we may just be pleasantly surprised of the real grounded, earthy nature of being a human, and that coming through in the situations that we're in. But there's going to be a real difference this week between what we say and what we feel, and to recognise there needs to be more of a bridge between the two. And the way to do that, it feels like to keep it simple. It feels like to speak our truth, to be authentic in the vision that we see of ourselves and each other, and to really sense into the light that is needed in order to move us forward. It's that Virgo new moon, right? It doesn't feel as if it's new aspects. It feels as if it's fine-tuning, honing in on what we already know. Huge plan of where we want to be and what it is we want in life. But we still need to bring it back to the steps that are in front of us. Okay, that whole chop wood, carry water, that, okay, what am I going to do about this information? What legacy am I leaving behind in my very actions? Every single one of them. And this week there's going to be a real emphasis on respecting that even the actions we didn't think were applicable are. We're going to be more aware and have more clarity over what we're feeling and why, and that can really lead us to the temptation of over-explaining our situation and where we are. And the emphasis is to really fine-tune that and just bring it back to the breath and to the understanding that we all have. These downloads, whatever you want to call them, but how we're caring for our body as the vessel in order to hold space for them. Really going to be important, because the sense of fear almost seems to be coming from our inability to steward our body. And if we can get past how we feel about that message and really go into where it's coming from, there becomes this flow of truth, and it's much easier to act from there. It's more like an intention. We have the hammer at the bottom of the pack. It becomes that light that guides us forward to any messages that have continually come up, and to really feel into the deeper essence behind it. This week, really listening to any repetitive messages that are coming up, going one step further, turning the page of this narrative to see what's actually beyond it. Going that one step further, what is the underlying message here? Really feeling into whatever truth is trying to come up for you for the light that it is. I really feel that. I really feel that in my chest. I almost feel like a indigestion type sensation where I've taken all this information from everywhere else, crammed it in so that I can't feel what's actually going on in here. Take some time this week, find a safe environment to do that, and support if you need it as well. We're really going to be made aware of the need to ground in the vision that we have for ourselves, for each other, and for the earth. And to align to that, and to be honest with ourselves where we may not quite be living in the truth of that, and to adjust accordingly. Seeking beyond the obvious, to the more sacred. You deserve better. The situation deserves better. Life deserves better than to be tarred with the obvious. As being in the background, I don't see this as being a guiding light. I see the assumptions of the feminine. I see the understanding, the flow, the acceptance, the ability to receive the feminine in the heart being in the way of the flow that is evident there. Unable to connect to the flow of messages, unable to connect to each other a bit. There's something not quite in the right here. There's something in the way here, and it is our ability to receive. It is our ability to nurture. It is our ability to listen, to pause, to be. And on the Tuesday, that comes up with the knowing that it's time to go into our heart space. Depth of emotion and a fear of it. But recognising it's us. Recognising we are a drop in the ocean or an ocean in a drop. It's that saying, yeah? Recognising we are our emotions. They're not too much. We have the ability to flow and to feel with them and to create with them and to unite with them. Feeling into that on the Tuesday. Recognising the stories that may have made or helped us to feel as if we were unable to cope with who we are. The whole too muchness, not just outside but inside as well. Because on the Wednesday we can take that emotional energy and start to create with it in the King of Wands. The path of endurance in order to prove our strength and avoid our own true light. Okay, so really looking at that on the Wednesday. When something is obvious, when it's not as out there, hard, difficult, enduring as we believed it to be, when it's easy, we can really struggle with that. The masculine notion can really struggle with that. And it's that this week to keep an eye on. Okay, our actions can be very simple and with ease and with grace and force that is divine and feminine. How do we feel about that? How do we feel about all the struggles beforehand? Yeah, how do we feel about the future that could come in as a result? My understanding, my actions, my intentions, my expectations. And what you can see is they're not even able to look at each other. The intention and expectation can't even look at each other. The ability to receive what it is we need in order to put the actions into place aren't working together because it's so detached here, and it is because of a story that has become our own weapon, tool, defensiveness. Or maybe I'll seek out advice from someone else. Maybe I'll look elsewhere. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not feeling this correctly. And that can really wobble our mental health. Yeah, that can really wobble our own authentic certainty. Okay, on the Friday. And it does feel as if it's necessary. It does feel as if there's still hidden aspects that we are yet to see. Again, as we go into the weekend, we do have the Devil card there. It does feel as if there's an unknown force guiding us, and that can be quite necessary on the Friday with the new moon. It does feel as if we're almost being tempted to bring in new things to make up another new routine and a new intention and a new pause. Take a moment to look at what you've already gained and what you actually want to take forward. You want to feel. Allow that to be your guidance on the Friday, especially in those moments of wobble. Be aware of what's actually going on. Changes everything, because then we take responsibility. We might not be ready, that's okay, but at least it can be our decision. Our cycles, where are we in our stages of creativity? If we can really recognise that, then that whole Two of Cups thing starts to merge back together. That whole heart-led coherence is what drives us forward. And underneath it all, always, the Hermit. That guidance of knowing that it is your light that's going to get you through the darkness ultimately, and that it's time to open up to that. Take care, have a wonderful week, and I shall see you soon. Take care.